What's up? Sunday, I don't know, mid-January, maybe the 17th. Um, don't have a whole lot of time today because I got out here pretty late in the afternoon and I cut a new trail up to this build site. But I've got a couple of logs that are nearly done being debarked. So I'm going to at least try to finish one of them. And I just ordered some wood stain from Amazon that I will test out tomorrow or Tuesday to try to get a couple of settle on my kind of final plan for how I'm gonna treat these logs. I'm gonna try to combine like a wood burning, getting some char on there with some colored stain to try to get little pops of color um, after the burning. So haven't quite done enough tests yet to know that that'll work, but that's sort of what I'm envisioning. I think it'd look cool and sort of match the vibe of the whole place if the cabin had some funky colors that aren't super standout, but that are at least subtle, but there. All right, I was hot after walking up the hill. Now I'm getting chilly again, so I'm going to put my coat back on and then go grab a couple tools, and we'll work on the slug. Let me turn on the human tracking here. Boom. There we go. I got a little bit of a cold. Thankfully, it's not so bad that I can't get anything done out here, but it is bad enough that my throat hurts. And my nose is running. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Gloves. I like wearing this jacket if I'm going to be kicking up, if I'm going to be kicking up wood chips or wood dust, because it doesn't like embed. There's no fibers to embed itself in. My fleece gets bogged down. Okay. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Just out here stripping bark off logs for a cabin that I'm building. How's everybody doing today? All right. I feel like I need to probably just fire up the chainsaw and cut these branches a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna do that. How's everybody doing? Do me a favor, if you're hanging out, hit that like button. Jessica, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm out here almost every day. Got a cold now. That didn't stop me today. It stopped me yesterday, though. We're building a cabin. That's the end goal. Right now we are prepping logs by scraping bark off of them. Easily the most tedious part of the whole thing. But I'm working on like not a huge, but just big enough cabin for the family to do a little bit of camping out in Colorado. We've got a bunch of pine trees that have been killed by pine beetles on the property, like dozens of them. And I need to cut them down anyway because they are an eyesore and they are taking up valuable space in the canopy. They're all tall trees, and so they're definitely blocking the younger trees getting sun. And they're a fire hazard. So cutting them down, need something to do with them. Got a whole bunch of big logs like this, so I'm going to put them together into a cool cabin. What are you guys doing? Anybody got anything fun going on? Gotta adjust this camera for a second. Appreciate the follow, NZ. How much more? Yeah, I got more room. No. I need a tripod that like sticks to logs better or can grip them. There we go. Man, it's crazy. Sometimes bark comes off easy, big pieces, and that is lovely. Much more of the time, it is like glued on to the trunk. Going to be testing a few different wood preservation techniques over the course of this week on a few of these logs, so I need to get a couple big ones ready. I think I'm gonna hopefully like a yakasugi, I think it's called. It's like a Japanese wood burning for preservation. Hopefully that's gonna work. But I'm also gonna test it with some different color stains. Yeah, a few different ideas, and then just like some clear coat stuff. We'll see. But our main house out here is black, and my wife and I really like that look, especially in nature. Just sort of pops with the green. And so burning the logs will give me a nice matching black. Oh no. This is a big log. It's probably in the top 5 thickest ones that I've harvested so far. It's almost 2 feet diameter at the butt end and tapers decently at the tip, but that's okay. I've got, that's a good question. No, is the short answer. There are huge pieces of machinery. Like if this was being harvested by a commercial logging company, they would drop the logs in this big roller with blades, and it would just spin the log, huge logs, and just shave off the top layer. That's how they would make like telephone poles and stuff like that. That is a complete non-starter for me. As far as power tools go, I've got battery power out here. I don't have any. I've got like a little generator that I use to run a Starlink and stuff like that. So, but I don't have any ability to plug in a big power tool. What I do for like around big knots or areas where branches used to be, I'll use my battery powered grinder with a really abrasive wood carving disc, which I'll switch to in just a minute here. And that is good, but it burns through. I can burn through like the big Milwaukee batteries in about 10 minutes of use, and the smaller ones it's more like 3 or 4 minutes. And so I end up packing them in and out every day to charge them, and that's a bit of a pain. So this is actually for this bark that's like really well glued on to the trunk. This is sort of just like slow and steady, and it's the only real option. Unfortunately, I've tried a bunch of other stuff though, and none of it works. If the bark wants to come off, then using like something called it's like a spud or not a spade. I think it's a spud. It's just like a little. It kind of looks like a big chisel, and that will slip between the bark and the log and help bigger chunks of it off if it wants to, if the bark wants to let go. But if it doesn't, if it's like this where it's like layers and layers down holding on tight, this is really the only option. I wish I could just leave the bark on, honestly, but it's a big no-no. Dude, if you think of an easier way, or if you know of one, you let me know. It's all time consuming. Different trees have completely different kinds of bark. So like birch trees, the bark will come off in a big sheet. Like a big sheet. Like you could just slice it down in one spot and unroll the bark from the whole tree. Pretty cool. Pine trees like this, it's not a thing. This is about the biggest chunk of bark that will naturally come off if it wants to. and it's just not happening on this side. So I could leave them outside for another year, and I bet the bark would loosen up as the wood was decomposing. But in that time, it would just be getting rotten. Bugs would be eating it. And this will stop that from happening. But yes, I would love it if there's an easier way. I'm all ears if you've got one. Whew. So close. Take care of everything around the house for over 20 years, so I had to seek easier ways to do things. And what have you found? The easiest way to do something like this is just not to do it. Completely optional project, nothing but personal desire to do it that has got me out here to begin with. And so yeah, I mean, I could just not do any of it. And if I could get power out here, I could use grinding that part there. That's good. It's so lucky. But I don't want to do that. These little areas around rocks. Yes, building a cabin. You got it, Thunder. Harvesting wood for my property out here and building a cabin. Not a huge cabin. The exterior walls are like 16 feet long. So with the couple of feet that I lose on each end to notching for the corner notches, you know, I'm looking at like a 12 by 12 cabin. Extra hand would help you out. Totally. It's pretty much, the project actually started as a way for give me and my stepson some time to hang out. He's been having trouble finding a job, getting a job, holding the job, all that stuff. And so I thought this might be a fun project for him. Combine like, hey, let's figure out how to live stream stuff and also use our hands, be in nature, hang out, shoot the shit, all that stuff. And, he was out here for like the first couple of weeks. We got a big hole dug, we got a couple trees down, and then he bailed. So not much more I can do in that department, but he's welcome to come back anytime. And yeah, at some point when it comes to raising some of these larger logs up, I will definitely need a hand. One of my friends suggested that I go find some Amish people to help. I thought that was a good idea, but I don't know if we have very many Amish people in Colorado. Let's go. The grinder wheel is all clogged up, so I need a wire brush and a torch. Burn the little wood, clogging it up with the torch, and scrape it out with the wire brush. Coming over here to my tool section. So while we're walking around here, I'll just give you guys a quick tour of the cabin site. Get my glove off so I don't have to use my nose to touch my screen. Just get a quick look at my forehead, which you're kind of getting anyway. Sorry, my bad. Here we go. Okay. So here's like the main entrance. Hike in probably about a half a mile from our drive, and then you walk up this hill. And what will be a fire pit right here. This was going to be the cabin site, but I decided against having it sunken. Instead, it's going to be raised up all over the ground. But it's fine that we spent a week and a half digging this big hole because, yeah, we're just going to line it, put benches in the middle, carve new stairs on the outside, on both this end and right here come spring when the ground softens up, and just do a nice little fire pit in the middle. And then the cabin is going to be back like 20 feet behind it, kind of where that tripod is sitting. This is the hillside where I'm getting most of the lumber from. Got just like 2 more trees over on this side that need to get cut down. These are the 2 dead ones. So, dude, we've had such a nice snow-free winter. I think it flurried like 2 nights ago for a couple hours, but nothing stuck. We've had like, I don't know, maybe 3 inches total this winter. I think the mountains are really hurting for it. Okay, I got my wire brush and I walked right past my torch. Appreciate the follow, Dave. And anybody else? Got a decent number of logs already cut. Some of them debarked, some of them not. Everything's in multiple stages of completion. Some logs are just too big for me to move, so I'll probably cut those ones into rounds. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Much, much appreciated. I'm going to turn this camera back around. We'll clean out this grinder. So this is the disc that I'm using to scrape bark off. It's got these really abrasive nubs that are, I don't know, probably like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch tall. But they get clogged pretty easily. So just using a propane torch, maybe, to burn some of the wood, loosen it up. And then we'll come in with the wire brush in just a second. Thanks for the follow, Thane. All right. Get our brush. and it just comes right out. Thank you for the likes. Never really used TikTok before I started this project. Still getting used to it. Seems like a good place though. Why do you guys prefer TikTok over, all the other streaming platforms? Some of the time you're using this one, some of the time you're using other ones. All right. Yeah. That'll make a big difference. And let's fire back up. We'll clean up these little knots. And then we'll roll this log over. Hopefully there's not maybe but a quarter of it left. Sweet. Oh, dude, this is going to drive me crazy. Need pliers. So close to the end. Whew. Sweet. Hey, thank you for the follow. Okay. Just a little bit more. With the grinder on this side. And then we'll roll it like a quarter turn. fighting a cold. Need to take some vitamins tonight. All right, wait, before we roll this guy, let's just do a little bit more fixing up this direction. We got your Dusty. Not bad. Okay. Time is it? Almost 4. Oh, so glad the sun is not going down so early anymore, but still considerably earlier than I would like. I like working at night, and I don't have enough light out here to get much done. And it's just so cold in the winter anyway. We don't want to roll it much. Just slowly. Now we're rolling too much. I need some wedges at some point. Set you back down here. I'm going to go over these branches with the chainsaw real quickly, just to cut down those nubs. And then we'll get back to the draw knife. And I do appreciate everybody hanging out. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. Follow if you want to follow along with the project. All of that is much, much appreciated. Just got to pick out some new tunes. You sent a confetti bear? Oh my gosh, was that to me? I think that might be my very first confetti bear. Thank you so much. I don't know what it means, but it feels entirely like monumental. So I really do appreciate it. Anybody else have more of them? I'll take them, dude. I will take them. Just messed up my headphone. Like turned on ambient sound all of a sudden. Noise canceling. That's what I'm talking about. all of a sudden my chainsaw got loud. Oh no! Are we out of gas? No. We're full of oil too. So either my carburetor needs to be adjusted, one second, just gotta grab a tissue. Okay. Why did my music stop? I don't know. Oh, I love when bark comes off in big pieces. What does that say? Putting that work in, bud. Yes, thank you. I'm trying. I didn't come out here yesterday, and all day long I felt like something was missing. Gotten very used to spending like 3 or 4 hours outside in the beautiful Rocky Mountains, and I notice like just a tremendous, it's good exercise. Not that I'm like getting much more fit, but it certainly can't be bad for me. And just like, you know, makes me happy. We live in such a beautiful world, and we don't, you know, we don't spend enough time like with the beautiful parts of it. It's just, it all feels like a miracle. Oh, for sure. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, easy bark. Yes. You stay blessed as well, Matthew, whichever you prefer. Same goes to everyone else. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, beautiful week. And the more you can tune into nature and tune out of politics, the better, I'm sure. Woo! We tipping? Oh yeah, we are. Let me get you. Yep, need a new tripod. Ah! Again. Let me move you guys somewhere less susceptible, maybe? All right, gonna take a break for just a minute. Let's just hang out. If anybody has any questions or anything you want to talk about, I'm all ears and eyes. I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes. Stretch my arm, got tennis elbow. I've never played tennis in my adult life. Hang out here, I'm gonna grab a drink. We're at about 8,000 feet up here. And you would think, well, I don't ever really get the opportunity to or haven't in a while, gotten the opportunity to go down to sea level to see what my lungs are like. But I haven't actually acclimated as much to the higher elevation as I would hope. I still get out of breath faster up here than I do down in Denver. But the real question is, do I get out of breath as quickly in Denver? And I don't actually know. Pretty close. Scraping the bark off of this one log, 2 logs, I guess, has generated 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches of bark ground cover. It's kind of remarkable. All right. Let's see what we can get done in the next 10 minutes. Anybody who's just getting here, my name's Noah. Invites you to co-host with one other creator. I don't even know what that means, but I'd love to. It went away. And one day I'm just going to start inviting people to co-host with me, even though I'm completely unsure of what that will mean. Oh, stupid colds. Anybody else fighting a cold? I heard the flu was supposed to be bad this year, but we've dodged that so far. So funny how happy I get when a piece of bark this size comes off. Makes my day. Yes. All right. Where did I toss my grinder? Let's find it. Here we go. Yep. Battery's dead. No problem. All right, yo. I really appreciate anybody who's hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow, a little earlier in the day. Try to put in 4 or 5 hours. Thank you very much. Hit that like button before I wrap up. Make sure to follow if you want to come back tomorrow. All that stuff. And I'll catch you guys soon. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I just made my first $1.50 streaming. It doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not. But 100,000 times more, and that's a good income. 1,000 times more, and that's like a good half a week's work. Not really. For a lot of people. 10,000 times more, and that's a good week. But it's the first pennies that I've made. Oh, I'm dusty. I'm covered in dust. Covered in wood dust. At least I don't seem very allergic to this pine bark. Okay. I gotta pack it in because I need to go do a favor for my neighbors and cut down some tree that fell across a path that everybody walks on. And I don't really know where it is, but it might be like a mile walk away. So I'm going to pack it in right now. I'll be back up tomorrow earlier in the day. Hopefully we'll make another $1 or $2. That'll be huge. Maybe we'll even make $3 someday. Whew. It's not why I'm doing this, but it goes in the tractor fund. And if I could earn enough money for a tractor, boy, that would be terrific. All right. Peace. Love you.